What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Seltzer Time podcast. I almost messed it up again. Welcome back to the Seltzer Time podcast. It's your boy Ricky, aka Dick Chuck, aka the man behind the can at Seltzer Time Official. Here as always with my conversation accomplice, the man with the hunch about Worcester, Travis.
What is cracking, Fizzle Fiends? Nice to hear. Ricky, I love you. Oh man, I was thinking about redoing that whole thing. It sounds so good.
Let it
I love every minute of it. So thanks everybody for listening. Welcome back to another episode. How we living, my friend?
Living good. Going on vacation in like 3 days. So
yeah.
Well, when this drops, I'll be in the Bahamas.
Hell yeah.
So that's
gonna be Sunshine Ricky.
It's gonna be nice. Got a fresh new haircut.
Are you in that like pre-trip kind of like freak out? Like, oh my God, I gotta get all this done.
No, I don't. No, not at all. Like,
I'm jelly. I would totally be there.
It's mostly because like a lot of people work a regular job, so they kind of work and then they like last minute they pack and everything. I will last minute pack, but I don't have to do anything for the next like we're recording this on Thursday, so I record tonight and then I'm off for like over a week. So I can just kind of like, I could get it done early even though I'm not going to. And I have like other things I'm doing before that.
My wife, Sarah, is a pre-packer. Like she'll want to pack. That sounds so awful. She'll want to pack for trips. Hey, baby. She'll want to pack for trips like a day, 2 days ahead of time. And she'll always want to pack the car the night before so that we can just wake up and drive, which I'm always super skeptical about because you're now putting all of your belongings in the car to invite any idiot to come along and pick them up.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But yeah, so you won't pack. How long? How headed?
I will. So we're leaving. I'm staying at Naomi's on Monday night. So we're leaving like mad early on Tuesday. So I will pack Monday afternoon. And yeah, she made me a packing list because we all
She
know.
made you a packing list.
Yeah.
That's
it's
adorable.
Like, she's the best. Like without her, I would definitely forget probably like my toothbrush and everything else. She'd be like, oh, what'd you bring? I'm like, boat shoes, my phone. That's it. Last night, somebody was like, you should mail yourself. Ellen from Simjong was like, you should mail yourself seltzer like to the hotel. And I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. And then she's like, or you could literally just put like 5 cans in a plastic bag and put it in your bag. And I was like, also not the worst idea.
You can't take them on the plane, right? You
It
could
will
check them
explode and ruin everything.
So people travel with beer though.
Yeah. If you put it, so I think that's what the plastic bag is for. The Ziploc bag prevents.
Do you trust a plastic bag though?
I mean, like, it's not sticky. Worst case scenario, I smell like cranberry lime, which I usually do anyway.
Are you going to keep any electronics in your bag? Done. They're done immediately.
That'll be in your backpack up with you in the plane, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm bringing my computer at all because like I'm not going to be on it. I'll have my phone on me like in my pocket.
Like I gotta believe that's how the people that have brought seltzer
to like Europe, to like mountains and stuff. Like imagine me like just like chilling on the beach. Do they? I love how we haven't even introduced Kelsey yet. She's already
talking.
I had some really funny stuff to say before in that intro, but I was holding off because I was like, am I supposed to be quiet through all this and pretend like I just walked in the door after you introduced me?
No. Yes, so I was ruining the ruse.
But then Ricky said that stuff about boat shoes and I laughed and then I was like, we're all in now. So.
That's a good, I like that. I like how you just brought your own vibe to it.
Yeah, well.
So before we fully
she says welcome and looks out the
and
window.
Then that's it.
Great content for an audio podcast.
So before we fully introduce you, thanks again to Derek Grimm from Dead Horse Hill. He was our guest last week. It was awesome. It was great to hear about some of the industry events that are coming up. Shout out to Frenette for tweeting back at us. It was the best day of my life. It really was. I was so excited. So it was just great. Derek's the man.
Derek was really, really fun to have on. Those industry events sound super cool. Even though they only serve a niche audience, it's still, I don't know, hopefully somebody got some content out of that and is going to go check them out.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I know a lot of industry folk listen to this just from coming in the dive and tagging me in random things.
So you're tied in the industry. You almost are the industry.
I mean, yeah.
The entire industry is Ricky Nelson.
Yeah. God.
Don't gas him up like that. That's the most dangerous thing you've ever said. The wheels are turning this like so visibly right now.
Yeah, you're right. I am the best.
I think the real reason I'm on this podcast is to bring you down a peg.
It's so true.
Acceptable.
So true. On that note, Travis, did you have anything else you want to?
No, just thanks. Thanks, Derek, for coming on.
Hell yeah.
Stoked. I still need to go over there for brunch. I'm trying to go on Sunday. Hopefully it's not snowing me out.
That sandwich.
So yeah.
Have to get it. Real quick, props to the ladies of Pop It.
What? Wow.
So they partnered up with Mass Foodies.
Yeah.
Huge opportunity for them. Massive opportunity for Mass Foodies, in my opinion. I think it's great that they now have like an audio platform to dish out the food.
Yeah, I mean, it already works with what Sarah writes about and what they're talking about in their show. Plus, they're going to still keep that other pop culture content, which makes them so interesting and kind of, I don't know. Sarah and I have been talking about it. They have those 3 things that they focus on, and it's really interesting to watch their show grow.
Yeah.
I think they're doing fantastic work, and all more power to them.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. So, congrats, ladies.
Yeah,
Glad
keep
to
up the good work.
Glad to see the ladies be the first ones to land the big partnership. That's how it should be.
Yeah, hell yeah. And they're going to keep kicking our ass, which is fantastic.
I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah,
it's fine.
They need to. Because to their point, there isn't a lot of female voices in radio, and they should be championing that.
It's true. So, props to the ladies. Yep, there I go. Yep. On that, so stupid.
That was so great.
Do you see what you did,
man.
Travis? Do you see what you did? He just adopted the most 99 radio voice. He thinks he's on Howard Stern right now. Props to the ladies. And then you're hitting a sound effect. Hear that? That's an engine revving.
Train going into a tunnel. Good Christ.
On that note, this week's guest is the lovely Kelsey Wyco.
Hi.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hi.
That's it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do an introduction. I'm doing my own introduction. That's fine.
What else?
No, it's totally cool.
What
It's
else is
fine.
there to say about you?
I don't know.
We just found you on the street. We just said, "Hey, you look pretty cool."
I went to order a coffee and you told me where to go. So I was like, "You want to be on a podcast?"
Yeah.
So Kelsey is a 911 dispatcher.
I am.
Okay, for the city of Worcester. And she's also probably the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because I was gonna say, I am arguably the funniest person that you know.
100%.
So I'm glad that you said it first.
Sean Conley and you are a very, very, very close 1 and 1A. I don't even know.
But
who's
if you
funnier.
if you had to choose, who's funnier? Nope, he's thinking, so I take it back.
I mean, Sean.
Do you stand up? Do you do stand up?
No,
She could.
I couldn't because I do laugh at my own jokes too much, and I can't get through them a lot
Yeah,
of
but
the
you're
times.
not funny though.
Well, yeah.
So I think I'd have to give you the edge on this. You are legit.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I barely know you. I'm gonna give it to Sean just because I know him
All
and
right,
he's already
well,
out there doing it.
Travis, I said before we started recording that we're best friends now, and I take that back too.
wrong. Oh.
So many take backs.
It's a good thing I'm being compensated to be here because I would walk out.
Who's compensating you?
Are we supposed to pay you?
In the car, Ricky was like $50 of Travis's money.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do you think we make money on this?
Oh, that was the assumption because why else?
Kelsey doesn't work for free.
My time
We're just
is really
two broke
valuable.
boys with a podcast.
It's true.
It's an Outcast reference. Anyway, so
Kelsey, what's up?
Not much. I'm really excited to be here. I've always wanted to be on a true crime podcast.
You are not that close.
you couldn't be any further from the truth.
Yeah.
Well,
Although the only true crime, I guess our detective work goes as far as the Table Talk Twitter account.
well, that's taking off.
It's true. Yeah.
It's on the TV. It's on the internet.
Maybe we just change the entire scope of the show to just be about
Table Talk.
finding table talk or
It's called Seltzer Time, but it's about pies.
tweeting table talk. No, it's another show we start.
Oh, hey, we could do that.
You just start off with serious music, and then you're just like, today is Thursday morning, and we have another tweet.
There was another tweet this morning.
Yeah, what did it say? Can someone read it?
So,
Oh, jeez. It was.
do you know all right, so popular on the internet right now is, I think it's a clap emoji.
Oh, I know about the clap emoji,
Okay.
my friend.
So I'm not very well versed in meme culture. However, I did notice the fact that the Table Talk tried to do the clap, but they did it wrong, and they put up a wave. So it's a wave between each word.
It's incredible. I might only talk like this when I'm talking to Caitlin later. Hey, Caitlin, I'm also waving.
Waving. Yeah, hi, Caitlin.
Wait, you're going to Caitlin later?
Probably, yeah. I usually do.
Dude, all pies are $1 or 3 for $1 today. I have to get over there.
Did you hear that from the tweet? Because it could be lying to you.
No,
The tweet never lies.
Oh, it never lies.
they just pulled the information from their Instagram and then
Really?
they twisted around into some bastardized English.
So you're sure that this is not a bot that has taken
We're not sure of anything.
Well, okay, so Naomi's sister-in-law, Corinne, sent over, or was like, yeah, it was like texting her and sent her like whole thesis as to why it could be a bot, which I meant to show you earlier and I didn't. I'm the worst, but I'll show you after. And it's so like, it makes a lot of sense that it could have been a bot until today, because I'm pretty sure a bot wouldn't have put those emojis.
Bots can
in
do
between.
emojis. Bots can definitely do emojis.
Yes, whatever they program it to
It
do.
also says Twitter from iPhone. It's the first tweet where I've seen it come from a specific location.
I mean, like, there are a lot of smart kids at WPI, and I don't know enough
I was gonna
about.
say, yeah, I'm not a bot expert either.
I don't know enough about creating a Twitter bot to be like, you can't do it from an iPhone. I'm sure if we can put a man on the moon, you can you can create an app that takes the information in from other accounts and then spits the information out. I'm positive. But then again, I just said I'm not positive because I don't know enough about it.
It would have to be somebody that's very dedicated. To me, it would almost be somebody that's like
Oh,
testing.
but you said it started a long time ago, though,
Started in
right?
2015.
Oh, okay. In my head, it was 2005. 15 is pretty recent. That's
Yeah.
still within 4 years of a college education.
That's a good point.
If somebody, could be somebody that came to Worcester for.
I thought it started earlier than 2015.
Was it? Did I make that up?
I think it was I think it was
lying to
before
me?
that.
Maybe it was 2013?
I don't remember. It was. I literally just threw away my Twitter facts.
I meant to ask you about those. Why wasn't asked? I think somebody asked me about that the other day.
Like how I found them.
Yeah, because I was talking about the analytics. Oh man, I saw Che last night, and Che was like, "I have a bone to pick with you." Because in like the Mass Live article and on the TV thing, I was like, because they were like, "Oh, who do you think it is?" And I was like, "Well, it's definitely, we have like these theses of like how like it's not Che." Wait, 2015, November 2015.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's not Che.
So Che doesn't like that we're accusing him.
Is
Well,
he
it's
mad
not-
that you're saying it's for sure not him?
No. It's not the fact that we're like putting his name out there. It's the fact that a lot of higher ups in the city have either called him, emailed him, or stopped at his desk to be like, dude, just confess to it. And he's like, it's not me. Like,
That's
everybody
wonderful.
now thinks it's Che, and it's
So it's definitely Che.
The
and
fact that you
everybody
brought
should
it up to
continue
say,
harass
like,
him.
well, we don't know who it is, but we definitely know it's not him, sounds a lot like it's him.
it's not. It's not him.
If I was behind it, I'd be like, listen, out of the entire city, we have zero clue, but I know for sure it's not Kelsey that's doing it from her iPhone right now during the podcast,
It's a good point. All right.
And they'd be like, well, she said it, so it's true.
but we will figure it out. So Kelsey,
Yep.
how did you get into the profession you're into of being a dispatcher?
I kind of fell into it. I feel like, well, maybe now because there's a TV show called 911 about 911, it's more people might see it and be like, I would love to do that. I mean,
I didn't even know there was a show.
it'd be crazy, but
I didn't know
but
that
I
was a
feel
show.
like before this, nobody kind of ever really sets out me like, you know what I want to do? I want to be the person that answers the phone when you're having the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
But I worked at Starbucks, as everybody in the city does.
It's true. Yeah, most of the people in Worcester work at Starbucks.
I know Ricky from Starbucks because I worked with your brother, Joey.
Yeah.
And I remember the first day I met you. Do you remember? You don't? You don't.
No.
You came up to the counter and everybody was losing their minds. And I was like fairly new, but people were like, oh my God, it's Ricky. Ricky's here. Ricky graced us with his presence. He's finally here to get his coffee in the morning.
Are you serious?
This is what happened, dude, every day that he came in. And so I was like, I had heard so much about you as a friggin', I'd worked there for like a handful of weeks and I knew almost everything about you just because people would be like, Ricky likes a venti iced Americano. No, just kidding.
I used to get that.
It's a Trenta black eye and a chocolate chip cookie. Dude, to this day.
Direct to his heart.
This day, I'm trying to fall asleep at night and I'm like pouring the espresso shots into his iced coffee because I need to get him out of there. So Ricky walked in. I already knew so much about you because people are obsessed, or they were, you know.
They were.
Still are.
I'm fading out.
That's why we started this podcast, just so I'm obsessed with Ricky. I need a reason to look at him for an hour a week.
My ego is massive right now.
I just want to, again, to take it down a peg.
Oh, you'll knock it back down.
Sticky made him into a sticker, and now he's all over the damn city.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a little gross. But when we did go into Starbucks today, I got a warmer reception than you did, and I just want to put it out.
Do you still get a reception at Starbucks?
Yes and no. I don't go there as much. I spend most of my time at Crust or at Steam.
That's why he's abandoned his people, you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of the kids I know, like they don't work there anymore. Like right now,
I knew two people
when
I just walked in this morning. I knew two people, and it used to be like.
Yeah, same. I only knew two people that are working today, but other than them, I only know Tom, Earl,
Tron, and Katie.
Well, we saw Tron and Katie this morning.
Yeah. So those were the two people. And then I think Tony still works there.
Oh, yeah. Tony works on, I think, the weekend.
Travis loves that I'm mean to Ricky. Like, you may not even, like...
This is very funny.
You might not even be... I know you're not seeing this, but his face is lighting up every time I'm mean to him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's quite enjoyable.
But people love it, Travis. And whenever I'm out with Ricky anywhere and I, like, am mean to him a little bit, people lose their minds. They're like, yes, finally.
Kelsey leg sweeped me once in the dive, and it's still one of the funniest moments.
I took him down. I don't know why.
Please go on.
Yeah, I don't know why. Ricky went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I just went to, it was a Friday night. I wasn't working. I think we were
No,
out.
you were working. You were behind. Nope. You left from behind the bar to go to the bathroom. So you left the bar unattended, for the record. I could have gone back and stolen a lot of stuff.
Porter was there.
All right.
So I walk to the bathroom. I come out. Kelsey is at the end, like where I have to walk back in. She turns and for no reason just comes running at me. I'm like, what the? And like it's not that far of a distance, but it's like, what is going on? She runs over and just like legs behind me,
swept his leg. Swept his leg. It was so hard. He went down.
It was incredible. It really was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know why. To this day, I can't tell you why I did it.
It just felt like
it felt right, and I think time will tell. Time will prove that it was the funniest thing.
It's true.
Did it light up the entire bar? Like, I'm sure everybody must have seen it.
I think a lot of people didn't know that they were in the presence of what just happened.
They weren't made aware of the greatness they just saw.
It's not like I turned. It was like, everybody quiet. I'm about to leg sweep.
Can I have your attention, please?
I'm going to leg sweep this jabroni when he walks out of the bar.
I sweep the leg. Everybody starts just...
Sweep the leg, Kelsey!
Yeah, I don't know why.
But yeah, so...
Put him in a body bag, Kelsey.
That's the goal.
Someday, after vacation.
I'm going to try my hardest to bring this back.
Would you receive your own phone call, though?
No, because,
is that the perfect place to be?
Listen, I'm hesitant to put it out here right now. Like...
She's thought this through, and she's already in
I'm pretty sure I could get away with a murder. Like, I know everybody, I think, thinks that they could get away with a murder, but I'm, like, pretty confident.
I believe you.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I wouldn't, like...
All right, so what's your weapon of choice?
Well, I can't disclose in case I ever go through with it.
Dried cod is my weapon of choice.
Dried cod?
A dried codfish. Yeah, because you could dry
a codfish.
codfish.
You've thought about it more than I have in a weird way.
I'm a writer, too, so follow me here. A dried codfish is extremely hard and rigid, and you can bludgeon somebody to death, then cook that son of a bitch and eat it, and there's no murder weapon.
What would you do with the body, though? 'Cause now you got a body with a wound that looks very much like a stab wound, and then that kind of defeats the whole purpose.
No, it'd be a bludgeoning wound, so it'd be more like
you're hitting, you're not stabbing.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm thinking of a swordfish.
You know what's funny? I was too. And I was like, wait a minute, that's gonna, yeah.
Wait a minute. No, I'm talking about like you're basically making a club out of a codfish, which is already a heavy fish, and you could dry those.
All right, so what I would do is stab someone with a swordfish, and then
Like, how do you get stabbed by a swordfish in Worcester?
But what are you doing with the body? Now you have someone that's been bludgeoned to death, clearly not natural causes. What do you do? What's your next step?
Eat them too.
Ooh.
Cannibal.
I'm gonna have to leave, I think.
This is terrifying.
I am hungry, just so you both know. Are fully aware.
That's it. Okay, now that we've talked about murdering people.
Anyway, so
you worked at Starbucks.
I worked at Starbucks. I met you.
All of that just happened.
I thought we were going to go straight to the 911 stuff. I like how
we need to back it up.
Starbucks.
So you walked into Starbucks for the first time, and I was like, hey, you Ricky Nelson? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, hey, we're going to be best friends. Do you remember that? Nope, he doesn't.
I really don't remember.
We're best friends.
It's true.
So I'm going to tell the future.
There you go.
Yeah, and then the rest was history. So a coworker of mine, Kat, who worked at Starbucks, got a job as a 911 dispatcher.
Gotcha.
And left. And I don't know how she thought of it, like how that idea came into her head to apply and do it. But after a little bit, I got a little bit tired of people being like, my drink is wrong. So I wanted...
Same.
I wanted a job that was a little bit different and where people had real problems. So I applied because I knew about Kat and also if you recognize my voice, you either have a lot of emergencies or you are a Starbucks drive-through regular.
Yeah.
Because I was quote unquote the voice of Starbucks. I gave myself that title.
Quote unquote self-given title.
Yeah.
The voices.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, of course.
Hold on. I have to remember it.
You want me to pretend like I'm ordering something?
No, hold on. It was like...
Hi, can I get a venti?
No, it was like, thank you for choosing Starbucks. My name is Kelsey. How can I help you?
Does your hand have to go back and forth like this?
All right, make fun of me. Make fun of me while I'm a guest on your show.
I will continue to. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I get a venti unsweetened Trento Black Eye?
Oh, venti, unsweetened Trento Black Eye. Anything else for you tonight?
Yeah, you guys got chocolate chip cookies in there?
No. Perfect. We'll see you up here. That was my thing.
See you up here.
One time I went to Dunkin' Donuts when I went through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, and this was like while I still worked at Starbucks, and I would do that over and over and over again for hours every day. Perfect. We'll see you up here. Just every time. So I order a large black iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and she was like, she repeats it back to me in the drive-thru speaker. She goes, all right, a large black iced coffee. I go, perfect. Anything else for you? And then I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm not making fun of you right now. And then I had to pull up and I had to be like, I'm sorry. Like, I work at a drive-thru and that just happened. I don't know why it happened,
just
but it
muscle
happened.
Memory.
Yeah. And that was really embarrassing.
So good.
Perfect. Anything else for you?
Perfect.
Anyway,
So you left Starbucks.
Started at 911. It is Travis is noticing that I cry when I laugh.
How long have you been with the 911?
2 years.
Cool.
Feels like a lot longer.
Do you need a tissue for your crying
No,
when
I
you
don't.
laugh?
This is normal for me.
Yeah, we only have your sleeve, so suck it up, soup.
That's what's up.
I cry when I laugh, so I'll be crying through this whole thing. I started 2 years ago. The training process is long. It takes a long time. The hiring process is long, takes a long time. I think it was probably like at least 3 months between like the first interview and like them calling to be like, you're hired. I think. You have to take a test that is It measures your ability to remember, to hear things at a fast pace, remember details. They'll play like a recording that's like, a red car driven by a white male took a left onto Pleasant Street and then a right onto Chandler Street, and it passed a car with a license plate that was 3 Bravo X-ray 212 and a bus stop, and then like 10 seconds will pass and they'll be like, what was the second street that they turned on? So
that's so crazy.
But I was really good at that because of Starbucks, because I was in the drive-thru. Yeah. People would be like, can I have a venti iced Americano with extra cream and like 2 raw sugars, and can you put in 1 pump of caramel? And I'd be across the room and then like hear all that and have to walk over and type it in. So my brain was already processed that way. So I think that's why I'm good at this specific set of stuff, remembering details and listening to details and things like that.
You have a specific set of skills that makes you dangerous to criminals.
Yeah.
We can get Liam Neeson on the podcast, but we got Kelsey Wyco.
It's not even the next best thing. I think it's better.
It is.
Probably. I mean, but he was in Worcester, so...
We tried, yeah. They wouldn't let us near him. And then they put that whole restraining order thing on us. And
for the best.
It's unfortunate, but it happens to the best of us. 1, 2 restraining orders, I think, is like the average.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm kidding. Like, wait a minute. I might have a restraining. I don't think so.
You would know.
Yeah. I don't think I have one. I've been pretty good.
So you were literally the person that if I dialed 911, I would get you?
Yeah. Not necessarily me, depending on the day. So I work 3 to 11. There's 3 different shifts. There's the morning shift, which is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., then 3 p.m. to 11 a.m., and then 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I work 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's the busiest shift in the city. People are getting out of school. People are getting out of work. People are starting to go out to bars towards 11 p.m., starting to get drunk. People are at home causing problems. So we get by far the highest call volume of any of the shifts. But I prefer my shift hands down because there are a few different types of like stress that you go through. And for me, I would rather from the moment I walk in to the moment I leave be at a constant low level of stress than to like have an hour where nobody calls and then all of a sudden like you're going from resting to like somebody's shooting at me, and then you're like all of a sudden adrenaline, and then you calm down and there's another hour and then it hits you again. Yeah. So I'd rather like know what I'm dealing with and you're just constantly busy, and I like it a lot better. The overnight shift tends to have more like a little bit crazier emergencies.
Yeah, the extreme stuff.
Yeah, nobody's stubbing their toe and calling for an ambulance at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. It's like people who like really need help. Whereas we get a lot of stuff we have to filter out that like they probably should not be calling the police, you know? But I like it. Do
you guys get a lot of like, how many calls are like legit?
It's hard to come up with like any sort of number or statistic because it's not like we have like a reject pile that gets counted or something, you know? And we can't deny services to anybody. So even if someone calls and is like, they got my burger order wrong.
I was just going to say, like, there was a thing the other day about some kid who's like, mom made him eat salad, so he called 911. Like, do you get those types of things?
Absolutely. All the time. All the time. And it's normal people hear that and they're kind of shocked. They're like, but that's a life or death system designed to help those most in need. Who would abuse that? The answer is everybody. Everyone all day abuses the system. People call 911 and the way I answer the phone is 911, this line is recorded. What is the address of your emergency? And people a lot of the time start with, well, it's not an emergency, but I'm like,
why did you call this line?
Yeah. So we do transfer people to the non-emergency line sometimes because
Just makes sense. You want to keep it open for emergencies.
Yeah, we are a busy call center and there's only a certain amount of us on at a time. So I'm not going to stay on the line tying it up, talking about, your daughter lost her shoes at the park.
Yeah.
While someone's like waiting to get through.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we're a very busy call center. We have people taking the 911 calls. We have people on the police radio. and we have people on the fire radio at any given time. So
is there a difference between police and fire radio?
Yes, but we all do the same thing. So like it depends on the day. When I walk in, I'll find out, am I going to be on fire or am I going to be on police today? And if
that's what I didn't mean. Like, is there a difference between like firemen and policemen? After I said it, I was like, that sounded really dumb. But what I meant was like, is there a difference between like what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. They're different jobs, and I love dispatching for the fire department.
Yeah.
If I could only do that full time and not do police stuff, I would. I love parts of the police job, but fire is like where I live. That's where I'm most comfortable. That's where I feel really like I excel at.
Yeah.
I come from, my dad is a fire captain in the city of Worcester. So I grew up in the fire station, hearing the voice come over, the loudspeaker, and being like, who the hell is that? Like, how do they know? How do they know this stuff? I always wondered, which that didn't affect my like choosing this job at all, which is weird.
It did.
It didn't though. Because I didn't even know I would be dispatching for fire. I thought it was just like... Because a lot of people don't know how it works. You think like 911 is like just a call center and you're just taking the calls, and not realizing that us, the same people, are sending the fire trucks out and sending the police officers out, keeping track of where they are, what they're going to, what they need. Yeah, so you can be
crazy.
Yeah, call taker, dispatcher for police, or dispatcher for fire.
So you work the call center side, or do you work the dispatcher side? Like
both.
So do you dispatch the police officers, or is that somebody separate?
Nope, I do that too.
Department?
So we all do all the roles. When we come in, we have a roster. So when I go in, it might say like from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., you're taking care of the east side police radio or the west side police radio. And then for the rest of the day, you're answering calls. Or it might say, when you're on fire all day.
Sure.
Which is also the best because...
That sounds funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you're on fire, you're on fire all day.
It doesn't go out, baby.
So, geez Louise. So, just the reason I'm asking is like, this is terrible. It's like Farva. You were essentially Farva at times where you're calling out to the individual police radios. Like, is that somebody separate within the police department?
Farva? What's Farva?
Oh my word!
I don't know what that is either.
You guys never seen Super Troopers?
No. That's really embarrassing for me to say, I think, but I haven't seen it. I'm sure I've pretended I've seen it. Probably.
Really?
I'm sure it's come up where someone's like
said
a reference, and I was like,
fine,
yeah.
But watch the first one; it's funny. Anyway, I guess we'll just move on from this.
Yeah, no. So
you talk directly to the officers. I talk
directly to the police officers. Yeah, so that's a big part of the job. So we do a lot of different things. It's never boring, ever.
I'm sure.
Any given day, it's never boring. There can be parts where I literally caught myself once, like I was talking on the phone to somebody who was just like just screaming. And I hung up the phone and I like turned, I was like, I'm a little bored right now. And then I was like, oh, wait. Because you get so used to it. I was
going to ask, are you desensitized to some of this stuff?
Absolutely. I'll bring up things that I think are funny sometimes, like outside of work. And I'll be like, yeah, like, wouldn't it be funny if someone was just like stabbed in the butt? And everyone's like, what? What are you talking about?
You're like, never mind.
Stabbing in the butt. We need a... So if you were to call in a butt stabbing, what would that be? Like, we got a butt stabbing down on Pleasant Street.
No, so I did make up a song at work, and I was actually talking about it yesterday at work because there was
our second song debut?
It might be. Are you going to sing it for us?
Maybe.
Please.
So there were some trainees in the room, and we were talking about how you have to have a really messed up sense of humor to work this job. And I was like, yeah, if you don't think my Stabbed in the Butthole song is funny, you're never going to make it here.
Is there more to the Stabbed in the Butthole song?
It's very brief. It's more like a jingle. It just goes, stabbed in the butthole. Just like that.
I fucking love that. That's going to be my new ringtone. I'm going to be in a business meeting and stab in the butthole.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, so that answers the desensitized question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are still things that happen that like you cannot sleep at night for weeks or like months even, depending on the severity of the situation. We're not classified as first responders, 911 dispatchers. We are classified as clerical workers, which is something that people are trying to work on getting changed right now because it affects a lot of things. It affects our care. We don't have as, good.
Like healthcare kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I think benefits and things like that and retirement age, stuff like that are tailored to the type of job it is. So when you're a clerical worker, like our retirement age is higher because it's like, oh, well, you're just, sitting at a computer. It doesn't take a toll on you, but it does take a toll on you. There's a lot of burnout. It affects a lot of people, but yeah, it can be really intense. You hear things that like you never forget. There are certain screams that I'll never forget, the sound of people's voices, specific words that they've said to me that I'll never forget, like for the rest of my life. Yeah. And you learn to process it like learning any other skill, really. You learn how to rework through the situation and kind of like let it go, but you still remember that stuff, and it's kind of stuff that still stays with you. But so yeah, just as you can have like the funniest thing that you've ever heard in your entire life and then hang up the phone and immediately have someone just like, you hear the most heartbreaking thing that you could ever even imagine happen. I've talked to people while they've died. I've, heard people take their last breaths. I've talked to people off of, suicide calls, like things like that, where you're talking to people when they're at their most desperate and they're like reaching out for somebody to, tell them what they need to hear, and you have to tell them what they need to hear or you're going to hear it end badly. So you do hear it end badly sometimes because every person is different. Every person wants to hear a different thing.
Yikes, dude.
That's crazy.
But
fuck.
It all blends together, sort of. It's hard to describe, but like you can listen to somebody die and then kind of be driving home later and be like, what did I do today? I don't remember. Yeah. Like, I don't really remember what I did today. But then like you might be falling asleep and be like, oh, I remember. Yeah. Damn it.
That's fucking deep.
That's so wild.
So yeah, we're, I feel like 911 professionals aren't as recognized as they maybe could be. Because I think people don't realize. Ricky is a friggin' child. I'm talking about this stuff, and he's just slowly lowering his chair to the ground, inch by inch. Not even a steady decline. You're just like, skirt, skirt, skirt. It's on the ground right now.
I actually realized what you're doing, and I did the same thing. It makes a lot of sense.
I was trying to find the knob to lower. My legs don't reach the ground on this chair, so I was trying to lower it.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, reset.
It's still not better.
So to be fair, I didn't mean to hit it the first time. That's what she said. No,
Imagine if my microphone was off this whole time.
I went down a little bit. And I was like, whoa. And then I realized how I was way closer to the mic and it was much more comfortable. So I tried it one more time and went way down. And then, like, as I was going down, I was like, this is so inappropriate right now. Kelsey's telling us, like, the deepest, like, heaviest shit ever. And I'm like, did you guys chair fucking
I'm so glad you did it, though, because I'm much more comfortable.
Yeah, no,
you have no idea the relief as a short person when you're sitting in a chair where your legs are just fucking dangling. And then when you sit in a chair where your feet touch the ground, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Bar stools are the worst.
My wife hates
Dead
them.
Horse Hill on Sunday, and I was like, look at my feet right now. They're fucking dangling.
It's true.
Didn't even reach the rung on the stool to rest. Ugh.
It's great.
It's the worst.
For me, I was like,
Let's start a petition for chairs for people that are 5'2".
All right.
So, in hopes of moving away from the dark stuff, like, can you describe like a really amusing call? Not with any sense of detail, but like, kind of like, what are some amusing calls that you get or stuff that, I don't know, even if it's in your dark humor?
Yeah, like dark humor, stuff like that with like stabbed in the butthole, stabbed in the butthole. Like that
Have you
stuff is
actually got
really
a call that says I was just stabbed in the butthole?
Yeah, that's why the song came to be, because it happened.
That's fantastic.
It was. I didn't take the call, but I put it out to the officers in the. No, I didn't. I was just a bystander, but I think I got myself so invested in it that I thought I was involved.
Bystander.
I was just in the room.
You inserted yourself.
Yeah,
Memories are funny like that.
I just literally rewrote history. I was like, I was involved with this somehow. I don't remember how, but I was involved.
Stabbed this guy in the butthole and then ran to the dispatching room.
With a swordfish.
Swordfish. Perfect instrument.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look it down, eat it. No weapon.
Then the body. And then you eat the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that okay? So the stab in the butthole, is that maybe the? What a weird thing to say out loud.
Don't you love it though? Don't you love it?
I think I loved it more that Ricky got all NPR about it. So stabbed in the butthole.
The one moment
We're
today,
talking about
kind of
stab in
serious.
the butthole.
So yeah, so back to the stab in the butthole. Delilah.
I'm gonna get fired for talking about this stab in the butthole so much. I'm so sure of it.
Tonight.
I love Delilah so much, and
We talk about Love Line?
no,
Delilah.
you idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Delilah. So 2 of the radio presets in my car broke, and one of them was the channel that Delilah's on, and I've been too lazy to rearrange all of them, so I've been Delilah-less.
Is she on WSRS?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It was a
I
was a
don't know
preset.
Delilah. I gotta.
Oh, Delilah's like a nationally syndicated.
Oh yeah, all over the country.
Love lady. I don't really know how.
like
No,
advice?
not love, but she's. I think she's religious, and she's very like, oh, let me hold on, let me slip into my Delilah voice. How can I help you with your problems? What's going on today? Tell me.
My name is Tiffany. I'm in love with my best friend's husband, and my best friend doesn't know, but like her husband definitely knows, and I think he's in love with me too, and we want to be together, but we really don't want to break her heart. What should I do?
Well, Tiffany,
Stab that bitch in the butthole.
do you have a swordfish?
I mean, yeah. Oddly enough.
Right here. How did you know?
It's frozen though. Is that okay?
Delilah, do you have a song for this very moment?
She doesn't take
I
requests,
can't.
apparently.
Ricky wants me to sing "Stabbed in the Butthole" as a response because that'd be funny, but I was laughing too hard thinking about it, so I couldn't do it. But I was like,
in the butthole.
so it actually sounds a little bit like the Delilah, because that's her thing. So it's like,
oh.
God,
Oh my God, it sounds like
Hey there, Delilah. No?
Worcester.
WSRS. Is that it?
Worcester. That's awesome. Okay.
Did you think this would be the conversation when you gracefully invited to pay me to come on here?
No, I really didn't think we'd talk about buttholes or
I didn't either.
swordfish at all.
I didn't either.
Delilah, maybe. That's not that surprising, but
I think I've derailed majorly from the conversation. I remember.
This is thoroughly entertaining. I hope it's as entertaining to listen to for you guys, because I've just been sitting here just looking back and forth.
this is like a typical
I
conversation.
guarantee you that everybody listening to this podcast has turned it off already.
No doubt.
So
To the
just change.
7 people that made it this far, thank you.
When we were in Starbucks, we were talking to Katie St. Germain, angel, love of my life.
Shout out Katie St. Germain.
Longtime Starbucks employee, the best person in the entire world. And she was like, what are you guys doing? And Ricky was like, yeah, Kelsey's going to be on my podcast. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to tank it. I'm going on this podcast just to burn it to the fucking ground. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I know.
If I do say so myself.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I'm just kidding. You're fantastic. This has been great.
That's my new thing. I'm saying duh a lot more. An idiot. I already called you an idiot.
Yeah, I know. I heard
fool,
that.
I haven't.
My feelings have been hurt.
I haven't called you fool yet, but
Sullied.
like, you freaking fool. That's what I've been.
Jamocha. Remember Jamocha?
Oh, I remember Jamocha.
That was a thing for
I'm
a
like
second.
have you ever heard the word Jamocha before?
Oh, yeah,
Travis?
absolutely.
Where?
Jamocha? Well, first off, I used to order a Jamocha shake,
Oh,
which
so
is
the coffee sense, boring.
it's from Arby's, and it was delicious.
Arby's?
Yeah, Jamocha, and it was green.
How was it? It was a JAMOC.
I believe it was called Jamocha.
Like a
It was
mocha though, like
coffee, mint.
Mocha.
I don't know. It was definitely from Arby's. Maybe I'm mixing up two things. But
All right.
anyway.
Well, so the origins of Jamocha, it's a coffee drink. Like that's what it is.
Oh,
because
really?
whenever like I say Jamocha to a person, they always Google to see if it's racist because it sounds
It does.
sounds like a hard racial slur. So you got to do the Google and make sure that it's not. And it was like it was a coffee drink. Yeah. And then
Right.
I think it's a very Massachusetts word.
I had never heard it until you started saying it.
A lot of people haven't. And then
I'm a big fan of putts. Putts is a good one.
not
'cause
that
it's-
great. Not that good.
See, I feel like it puts you right in your place.
Putts. It's too awkward to.
And that makes me think of Justin Pitts. And I've been calling my dog Boizos because he says, "Oh, what's up, Boizos?" when you walk into the shops. And now
There we go.
I stole that and now I call up my dog
Who
Boizos.
is this person? Pitts. Justin Pitts. Who's that?
Fucking get with the times, Kelsey.
Ricky doesn't introduce me to any of his friends, so
Shut
I don't know
up.
who you're talking about.
Are you surprised?
I don't know if this is a celebrity or if this is a person that's like in the building with us right now. I have
He's a
no idea.
celebrity, Justin Pitts. Google him. He's out in Hollywood. He's doing.
I don't have my phone on because I'm trying to be a proper guest.
Justin is
I do have my phone on.
Justin's the owner of Axe to Grind Barbershop.
Oh, okay.
Justin's also the one who gave you this beautiful ass haircut.
Oh, cute. It is cute. It's a cute cut.
Killed
Shout
it.
out to Justin. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah.
Always ripping Seltzer Times.
Hey, can we
What's
talk
up?
about Kelsey and Ricky's cutest day ever?
Wait, the cutest day ever?
Yeah.
Should we hit him with the jingle for that
Yeah,
too?
ready?
All right, ready?
1, 2, 3. Kelsey and Ricky's cutest day ever. Spending the day together, being so cute.
So,
Holy hell.
yeah.
What was that?
That's just happened.
That was Kelsey and Ricky's cutest day ever. So,
How long has this existed?
Being so cute.
yeah. Spending the day together, being so cute. This was like, what was our cutest day ever?
Couple
2 years
ago.
ago, maybe?
Yeah, we so basically what happened was the greatest band of all time, Bad Rabbits, was playing a
God bless.
show in Boston, and Kelsey and I had this pact. We're like, yo, next time Bad Rabbits plays, we're going to go together. We both love them. She had seen them when she was younger. I only apparently listened to Bad Rabbits, it feels like. So they announced a show. I ended up, and we were going to go together. And then I had to drive my friend Nicole to the airport at like 8 a.m. So I was like, let's just spend the day in Boston. Like, how hard could that be? So Kelsey was like, yeah, I'm down. So at
5 a.m. we left.
5 a.m. I straight up, maybe I think I had to get her there. I think her flight was at like 7 or 7:30 or something.
Yeah.
So
And the Bad Rabbit show was what, like 10 p.m.?
Yeah, the Pat Rabbit show was like 15 hours later.
So we had a day to fill, and boy, was it cute.
It was adorable. we like drop Nicole off. We like go get donuts. We're like chilling.
We drove to Revere.
We drove to fucking Revere.
Just so we could do the
Bucolic
accent.
Revere.
We drove over the
Literally.
line to Revere. We were like, okay, we're fucking Revere right now. And
It's true. We had so much time to kill that.
we almost died like 8 times just
was-
because we were laughing so hard that we could not see the road.
There was a point where I thought I was gonna puke. I was laughing so hard at. Okay, so before we get to that point, so we spent the whole day together. We end up deciding to go to the aquarium. So we're like, fuck, that's
New
cool.
England
Yeah.
Aquarium in Boston. Shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out.
expensive fish.
Yeah, New England Aquarium. If you guys want to sponsor the
Every
podcast,
dollar was worth it.
Yo, everybody
down.
should go to their library, join their public library, and use the pass that it's at every public library and don't pay the
Are you
aquarium.
kidding me right now?
Oh my God. Go,
That's a thing?
Go check out your aquarium. Yeah, go
You
check out your
kidding
public
me right
library.
now?
Oh my God, everybody go check out your public library. Your
Wow.
public library is a humongous
Shout
resource.
out to libraries.
Okay.
So anyway, continue your story.
Hell yeah. So we decided to go to the aquarium because we're like, oh, we can definitely kill some hours there. On our way through Chinatown, we end up in,
A funeral procession.
yeah,
A long funeral procession.
very long.
And
So
it was
we're
almost,
like-
it was moving at a crawl. Like
most funeral processions
no,
do.
Irish funeral processions, we fucking 65 to the cemetery.
Yeah,
like
like
just
to the
whip,
bar.
gotta get there. Yeah.
This was like, they were taking their time.
They were taking their time.
So
Like they were sad or something.
Respect.
yeah, like shout out. So we saw on the side of the limousine or the hearse, the limousine.
It was a hearse. It was a hearse.
It was actually a stretch Hummer.
Oh my God, that's what I want.
When you say on the side of it too, I feel like people are getting a mental image of like some sort of decal on the car. It was not. It was a paper sign in the window.
Yeah. And it said wingfook.
Wingfook, WINGFOOK.
So
we,
for some reason, instead of thinking about the fact that
like, oh, that's probably the business name of this fucking funeral home.
we thought it was the person who died. We thought, so we were like,
So wholeheartedly too. It never even crossed my mind.
for like a week. We were like texting people like we were at Wingfook's funeral. Like it was fucked up.
So we're crying both from grief for Wingfook and from laughing too hard. We were imagining like scenarios where we were in his procession, like
Wingfook take the wheel.
Oh yeah, I was saying Wingfook take the wheel.
There's a lot of songs. I like this.
Oh, I'm a very musical person.
I couldn't tell.
So we end up at the aquarium after paying our respects to Wingfook, and because we felt like that's what he would want us to do.
Right. We came to know him as a brother, as a friend.
So we're at the aquarium. And we're like walking around and like looking at all this stuff, and there's like the big center tank. And we're sitting there, we're like, oh, wow, this is dope.
You need to, no, don't gloss over this. The center column of the New England Aquarium, if anybody...
It's a giant tornado of fish.
No.
No, well, it is, but no.
If you've never been there, the whole building is like a circle arranged around this center column that's very large, and fish move up and down it. Not like a tornado, but they just kind of hover.
They swim around in circles.
Not
It's
really.
constantly
Not
moving.
Wingfook. Not Wingfook.
So
I see.
we're standing there like admiring all the fish and the rocks and stuff. And it's cool.
Hard admiring. I have a video on my phone actually
Did you still have it?
that I can send to you. I still have it.
I'm gonna need that.
Because I looked through my phone for like funny pictures of you last night.
That's what's up.
There's a few.
Hey. So all of a sudden, we're probably still talking about Wingfook.
He never left us.
He never left us.
His spirit.
We're pretty sure his spirit actually
Inhabited.
inhabited the oldest sea turtle on the East Coast.
The eldest sea turtle.
The eldest?
I think you're making that up. I had no idea. Where did you get that fact from?
They told us during the little show.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
She was still crying.
I was watching them feed lettuce.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, this fucking massive sea turtle just rises up from out of nowhere.
You can imagine the noise it probably was making was like, "Mwah." One could imagine.
So rises up directly in front of us. We're on the
Looks
first floor.
us dead in the eyes.
Yes, and we're just like, that's fucked up. So we're like, yo, it's got to be Wingfook. Like, oh, what's up, Wing?
His eyes, it was like, my soul knows your soul.
Yeah.
He looked directly into your heart.
Directly.
Oh, yeah.
I have a fucking video, dude, of Wingfook looking at Ricky's eyes.
Dude. Sorry.
We did go to Revere. So we continue on with our day. We're like, oh, that was funny. Like, that was crazy. We get to the second floor. This fucking turtle, no lie,
He finds us. He finds us.
No matter where we stood, this
And
turtle
it's not
would
even like
rise
we were
into our-
walking straight up. Like
Yeah.
we were like on the other side of the build. We were all over the place, and he would just
Fook was
rise to where we are.
So
He was
Fook's following
fooking with
us.
you.
So we get to the top.
Yeah.
Okay, after this journey with Fook.
Yeah.
And there's all these people up there, like the tank's open, they do like a little show. And all of a sudden he rises again, literally right in front of us.
Right by us.
And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Turns out he's like the oldest sea turtle, I think.
Allegedly.
Allegedly the oldest sea turtle. Either on the East Coast or in the country. I can't remember. But he came from Miami or
How do you know so much?
I was really
about this?
into this. I thought it was the
I
funniest thing
literally,
ever.
my brain was like, oh, people feed turtles lettuce.
And I was like, I want to know everything about him. So
We also decided that whichever of us is the first to die, our spirit is gonna take over in we're gonna kick Wingfook out
Yeah.
and become the sea turtle. So when inevitably Ricky dies before me,
No doubt.
I'm gonna go to the
Sorry for
aquarium and
partying.
pay my respects.
yeah, I'll be around
yeah.
forever. Just fooking around.
Fooking around.
There you go.
Wingfook, God bless R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So, 30-second Google search. At 13 Gerald Street in Roxbury, Massachusetts is, in fact, the Wingfook Funeral Home.
Yeah, I know.
You have searced this after the fact.
I searched it
how we figured
afterwards.
it out.
That's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Because I Googled it and I was like, oh, dude.
Were you looking for his
Duh.
obituary?
Yeah,
Because we were coming up with this whole story about who wingfook was as a man.
Wingfook
also could have been a
survived by-
female, but we didn't. So we were like, who is this wingfook? What did he do in his life? And so I did a Google to see, like, you know, maybe this fucking funeral home.
It's probably 2 last names, if I'm guessing.
Most likely.
All right, well, I didn't get that far.
But this is
There was
wonderful.
no hyphen
So,
on this sign, Travis.
at the
There was
top-
no hyphen.
Top of the thing, we hang out, we see Fook get introduced or whatever.
We decide we become the turtle when we die, as, you know,
Yeah.
everybody becomes turtles when they die.
Duh.
I'm okay with calling the turtle wingfook still. I'm sorry. I don't mean to steal that
That's-
away
I
from
don't
you.
expect you to be okay with it because it's
I don't
happening.
need you to be okay with it.
That's just facts.
Hey, Travis, do you think I'm the funniest person you know yet? Oh, still. Oh, that was
I
a
still
really.
know Sean Connolly now.
Oh, true.
And I know Ricky, and he's
I mean,
funny
I'm not
looking.
performing at my best right now. I'm
You'll get
saving
there.
it.
It's early in the day.
Oh, you're saving? I mean, we're at an hour in already, so
Are we at an hour?
just about.
God, it feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you know?
we've been cruising.
Yeah, so we leave there eventually.
God, we haven't even got to the best part yet.
We go get food. We go to the Bad Rabbit show. It's tight as fuck. They're the best band ever.
Great.
What is the funniest part of the Kelsey and Ricky's cutest
So-
day ever?
Oh, you're trying to rush the end.
So we
Let's fast forward
about a year.
about a year, probably.
I go to lunch with Kelsey. We're at Dead Horse because
Dead Horse Hill.
Shout out to Derek.
Getting drunk.
Getting drunk, hanging out. Oh, this ties into last week's episode too with Derek.
Perfect.
Yeah, Derek was there.
So Derek's there. We're like shooting the shit, eating lunch, hanging out. And we're like, I'm like, yo, what do you want to do? Kelsey's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? I'm like, you want to go get tattoos?
And I was like, absolutely, I do.
So Derek texts Eamon.
Travis's face right now. He
Now
knew.
I understand
Yeah, now
what
he
happened.
knows. He found out just moments ago, and by moments I mean an hour ago, that we have matching tattoos, and but we didn't tell him what, and we didn't tell him why.
This
So
is perfect. I just
pieces
got.
are falling into
you
place.
guys just fucking Tarantino'd that for me.
Oh.
Like I got the payoff, and now
Are you back in?
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
All right, so,
So we leave lunch. We go over and Eamon hits us with a couple turtle tattoos.
Eamon hit you with a couple turtles.
Eamon, yeah. Derek recommended him, and great recommendation. We
Yeah.
had a fabulous time. Because if you
Powwow artist Eamon Gillen.
two bros such as myself and Ricky walk into a tattoo shop at 1 p.m. Before Ricky has to open the dive bar at 5 p.m.
on a Wednesday
afternoon, and say we want matching turtle tattoos. Maybe a lot of people don't take you super seriously, but Eamon was all in. He
I
was
can
like,
picture it.
he was
Yeah,
like,
let's
I'm
do it."
not going to give you some fucking Microsoft Word clip art of a turtle, my friend. I'm going to draw you something sick, and sick he did.
It's true. It's basically. I mean, I'll post a picture of it. But
Yeah,
like,
post a pic.
It looks like it's dancing up the back of my arm.
Not dancing. Do you know that classic tattoo that's like a panther and it's
Yeah.
crawling up? Its legs are kind of splayed and there's scratch marks left behind. We have that, but it's a turtle. So
That
the turtle's
sounds
like,
incredible.
yeah, it's
Wingfook is
really
on
good.
us forever.
And when he presented this idea to us, he was like, listen, here are like 4 drawings of regular turtles, but I've known you guys for 10 minutes and I feel like, he was like, I've known you guys for about 10 minutes and I feel like this is the one you're going to like. And we were like, hell yeah,
Nailed it.
buddy, you nailed it.
So yeah.
I got to see this, but we can do this
I
after the
can't
show.
show you mine because
Yeah.
I'm wearing pants, but it's on my leg, not like, you know.
Mine's on the back of my arm. I can show you mine.
Rad.
For sure.
Eamon does fantastic work.
Yeah.
Little shout out to Eamon. Everybody go check out Eamon's Drink and Draw at Wormtown, January 24th. That's 2 days after this episode airs live.
Oh,
so
nice. You'll be prepped. You can ask him about the turtle.
yeah, ask him about the turtle. Compliment him on his beautiful new mural that he put up in there.
He'll know about it too. He still has the stencil.
Oh,
thingy.
he has the art?
Yeah, he has it hanging up because I went back a couple months ago. I got my Bruins tattoo, almost a year like to the day, and it's still hanging up. And he's
Wow.
like, yeah,
What a fitting tribute to Wingfook's memory.
right. Wingfook is everywhere.
He really
died
is
in
everywhere.
Boston, but he lives in Worcester.
Wingfook is good
It
all
sounds
the
like he
time.
lives in all of us.
That is the deepest shit.
Not really in you so much as in me and Ricky, but.
But
No, I just put myself in that story.
There's pieces.
I heard it and like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Don't you remember? It was the Kelsey, Ricky, Travis cutest day ever. We all sang the song.
We have
you show up with a turtle tattoo. I'm like, how the fuck?
I pay Eamon to give me one too. Yo,
I know you still have the stencil. I know you have it, bro.
So good. So good.
We did have a Kelsey Ricky's cutest day ever, spending the day together being so cute part 2. But I don't remember what.
I was gonna say, what was-
I remember. It was the day the Paul Revere joke was born.
Okay, real quick. Paul Revere is the greatest American to ever live. It's a fact. It can't be disputed.
Midnight Ride.
Without him, we are nothing. We are British. So, Paul Revere, next to wingfook, I would say Paul Revere might be the most influential person in my life. We were at BT's getting lunch and we're leaving, and I don't even remember exactly how, but Paul Revere was brought up. Like,
I remember how, because I made the joke and Ricky took it like it was his own thing. And before, a whole 2 weeks before the anniversary of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, Ricky posted a countdown on his Instagram. So like he'd be like, in 14 days, something super cute is happening. And then he'd be like, in 13 days, super secret. And I was like, what is he talking about? He commandeered this Paul Revere fucking thing like it was his own baby that he'd given birth to. But I created the joke, Travis. I just want...
I don't understand what is happening.
It was just like Paul
14
Revere's...
days leading up to the launch of a joke?
Yeah. It was leading up to the fact that like the whole reveal was like, guess what? It's Paul Revere's Midnight Ride.
Wait, Paul Revere what?
It's Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. So I actually texted the group chat the other day.
Oh, the anniversary of the Midnight Ride. Oh, okay.
What was it? It's like April something.
It's April 16th.
I was like, hey, remember when Ricky did that countdown? And no one gave a shit.
Basically what happened was like we did this Paul Revere thing. We spent an entire afternoon laughing about all the funny things.
Listening to Paul Revere's Midnight Ride from the Beastie Boys. Is that what it's called?
We listened to Paul Revere from the Beastie Boys. There's a band called Paul Revere and the Midnight Riders.
Oh, yeah.
Who fucking rip. Like they were sick.
Yeah. But do you want to know how it started? We drove by an abandoned rundown like shack. And I was like, oh, dude, we should buy it and like build a bar there. And he's like, oh, what will we call it? And I was like, we will call it Paul Revere's fucking Midnight Ride. Because we were doing a Revere accent again. It kind of just happens when we're together for like at least 3 hours. We'll do the Revere accent. So I was like, kid, we'll call it fucking Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. People come in like one if by land, two if by sea. You know?
It was fantastic.
It was really funny. And then he made it as something.
Yeah, then I took it and ran with it.
He did.
Beautiful. So shout out to Paul Revere. There's a Paul Revere Instagram account that follows me.
Yeah.
And would comment back to me because I would tag it in everything.
Yeah, he used to tag. How long have you known Ricky Nelson, Travis?
Personally?
Yeah.
Only a few months. I've known of Ricky.
I think you missed the Paul
this makes
Revere
a lot
thing.
of sense.
I'll bring it back. Don't worry.
That's why you're hyping him so much, dude. You're still in like that
early
that Ricky honeymoon phase.
Yeah. It's the honey Rick phase.
In like a few months, you're gonna be like, this kid's a fucking idiot, dude.
Well, I think he's a fucking idiot, but he's so endearing. I love him for it.
That's it right there. You nailed it.
Wait till you make a perfect joke about Paul Revere and he steals it from you, and then see how you feel about Ricky Nelson.
Let's see how he feels about. Paul Revere really didn't do any of that shit, right?
Yeah, we know about it, but we're choosing to ignore it.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think we just ruined a friendship.
I choose to believe what I want.
Yeah, we believe what we want to believe.
I believe what I want.
That's fair. The story's better that way.
Some people have, like some people have religion. Some people have like magic crystals and stuff.
We have turtles and Paul Revere.
We have turtles and Paul Revere. That's what I choose to believe in.
Aren't you so glad you had me on to talk about 911? Oh my God, we didn't even talk about texting 911, dude.
That was so like...
Okay, we should probably get into that.
Perfect.
Hey, in Worcester, in fact, all throughout the state of Massachusetts now, you can text 911. This has never been available before. If you had tried to text 911 before, you would have got like a message kickback to you like, hey, can't do that.
Not a real number.
Yeah, you can text 911 now.
That's super
Their
rad.
motto is call if you can, text if you can't. This is like a last... Ricky picked up his phone right now, and I'm so nervous that he's trying to text 911.
Yo, bro, is this real?
Bro, don't do it. Because people do. They text me like, just seeing if this is going through.
No, I was
It's supposed to be a last resort. This is like you're hiding in a closet and you cannot make a sound. This is like
You are unable to make
cannot
sounds.
speak.
Yeah.
And I know that people are not going to use it that way, but it is going to change my job a lot, I think. We're still, the only calls that I've gotten so far have been tests. Like, does this work? Testing. But when they start coming in, it's going to be difficult. I can't get a translator through text message. I can't, tell you like instructions as clearly as I might. Like a lot of my job, like as call taking, is like listening to things that are happening in the background. Like somebody might be saying like, I fell and broke my leg, and then you hear like a guy threatening them in the background. You're like, it's a little different. So there's a lot of stuff like that that's going to get lost in translation. Absolutely. It's going to be harder for medical things as well, because I can't put like a paramedic on the phone with you if you're just texting me like beep, beep, beep. But it is a thing that you can do now. And in certain circumstances, it's going to be amazing for people who might not otherwise have been able to get help. Also for people who are deaf and hard of hearing, it's going to be amazing because
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Audio impaired.
It's going to make getting help a lot easier than it was before, when you have to use like relay services or teletype or something like that.
Yeah, those TTD things take forever.
Yeah, and they're really annoying. On my end, it's really annoying as well. But texting's great. Can't text emojis, doesn't go through. Can't text selfies, tried, doesn't go through. Tried it.
Totally in a bad spot here. Help, please.
Having a bad hair day, 911.
Yeah, so you can text 911.
Hashtag hurting.
The hashtags go through?
Oh, getting a hashtag would be really great, dude. I mean, I'm sure like once it rolls out a lot more and people are more aware of it, we start getting more, I'll have like really funny stories about it because,
Well, it's just started. It's literally day 2.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, you've been able to do it for a while, but they're just kind of announcing it now. It's kind of like, if you had like a month ago texted 911, it would have gone in to us. We're all logged in to take, if you're logged in to take 911 calls, you can also get the texts when you're logged in the right way.
That's awesome.
And they pop up on the same screen that you would use teletype or something if someone was deaf and hard of hearing. And you start texting, beep bop, 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 and trying to figure stuff out. See what you're dealing with.
That's crazy.
Take a little bit longer, probably. It's kind of like a best effort situation. You are not, if you're texting in, you're not like guaranteed the same
response.
The same type of response, I guess, is a way to word it. I'm not wording it the best that I can, but because it's a best effort thing. We don't have the tools available to us that we have through calls when you're texting.
So as I understand it, like when you call 911, that activates a protocol that regardless of whether or not, because you instigated the 911 call, you're going to get an officer. Is this true?
Not necessarily. People think, probably should have talked about this earlier when we were talking about my dog. People think that when you call 911, all of a sudden, like this map pops up and I know exactly where you are. That's not the case. The mapping has gotten a lot better than it was, and it's amazing. And now, like, they can use Wi-Fi signals and things like that to try to pinpoint even where you are in a building sometimes.
Sure.
But a lot of the time, when you call me, it shows me a map with a radius of half the city of Worcester. So you can be on Main Street, you can be on Chandler Street, you can be on Pleasant Street. We don't know.
Yeah.
So people will call and then they'll just hang up and they'll think, all right, now I just got to wait. Someone's going to show up at my door. That's not the case. And if you don't answer when we call back and you don't already have like some sort of record, yeah, that's Ricky. I wasn't going to roast you, Ricky.
We won't talk about it,
but Ricky dialed 911 and kept the phone in his pocket and never said where he was. And
I thought I was in a situation.
But a lot of people
okay.
think that. A lot of people think I'll just dial, put it in my pocket, in 5 minutes or less, the police are going to show up where I am. They're going to help me out. It's not the case. If we don't have your number, like if you've never dealt with the police and your number's never been on file, we don't have any record of that phone being tied to you. We don't know where you are.
So this is specific to cell phones. Back when we all had house phones, they were all
landlines
tied
are amazing. You call from a landline, I know where you are immediately.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Landlines are great, and a lot of people keep landlines active just for emergency calling.
Smart.
Also, a good portion of cell phone calls go to state police first before they come into the Worcester call center. There's a phase 1 and a phase 2, and that is the accuracy of the location pretty much. Phase 1 is like where you're pinging off of a cell phone tower. So there might be a cell phone tower down on Main Street and you're on Chandler Street, but that's the tower you're closest to, so that's the address it gives.
Gotcha.
Those go to state police first. State police determine what city you're in. and then they route it to the right city, because you might be calling from Auburn, but you're hitting the Worcester Tower. You might be calling from Leicester, you're hitting the Worcester Tower. Or you might be calling and your emergency is you're calling for somebody that's down in Florida, but you're here and you got to call for them. So those go to state police first, state police transfers, and then we have to ask the same questions over. People get upset. They don't like that. If they've already started yelling, like, I'm at 123 Main Street and I'm getting beaten up, help me, and then you transfer and I'm like, hi, where are you? They get really pissed off. And a lot more calls are coming directly to us now, which is great because, you know, we get to figure stuff out for ourselves. People aren't as agitated. But it's a process. It's not an immediate thing. It's not like this future high-tech, amazing technology where we know and we go immediately every time. And if people call accidentally, stay on the phone. So many people, they see that they call 911 and they panic and they just hit end. And now I'm spending time and resources that I could be answering the next call, trying to figure out where you are and trying to see if you actually have an emergency. I'm searching your phone number. I'm searching the address history. I'm searching, like, you know, previous calls. Like, I'm doing all that stuff while I could be talking to somebody else who's having an emergency. So, like, stay on the phone or call back to be like, I freaked out and I hung up, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That didn't mean that.
And then, like, when I do get people on the phone and they're like, oh, honestly, it was a mistake, like, you kind of have to listen for cues. You listen to anything that's out of the ordinary. If somebody sounds stressed out, if somebody is like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that, but they're like, you hear something's off, I'll send somebody out to check on them and just make sure. I also do a thing where, not everybody does, but if I hear something off, I'll say, like, if you need help, press any number on the keyboard right now. And if I get that, I'll send a response out. But sometimes it is just a kid playing with the phone, or, you know, the iPhone watches, the Apple watches, accidentally calling, things like that.
Sitting on your phone and butt dialing.
You got to stay on the phone if you want to be sure to get a response, because you're not guaranteed a response if you just hang up without telling us anything. Yeah. Because we might have zero clue where you are.
I've hit, like, the emergency call, you know, iPhone does that.
Yeah.
I did that once and I didn't even realize it. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I hung up because I thought I caught it before I went through, and they called me right back.
Yeah.
And I was like, hello?
Even if you hang up before it rings, will still get.
Because you get pinged.
Yeah. You know, they called, like, right back. And I was like, I'm so sorry I hit the wrong button. And they're super cool. They're like, oh, yeah. And, like, it happens all the time. No worries. I was like, I felt so bad. Like, the last thing I want to do is, like, fuck around with something. Like, I would never, ever do that. So
it's super cool that that's now available. The texting's available.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's really innovative. They're working on technology where they want to potentially have, like, video feeds sent right into us. Which if you ask any 911 dispatcher, you're like, I hate that. Please don't do that.
Oh, because you don't want to watch it
It's
anymore.
one thing to hear somebody be stabbed. It's another thing to watch somebody be stabbed.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Or sexually assaulted, or, you know, that's, I don't know. Mixed feelings about that. Because on the one hand, like, you have a record of the crime happening, like, it's being recorded. But it's
that's terrifying.
It's kind of iffy, like, you know.
Well, your mental health is.
Yeah, it'd be kind of really petrifying. Like, if trained officers and responders, like, seeing that, have been trained to see that and to handle it and get debriefing, which we don't necessarily get. So.
Well, I mean, I imagine that if that came in, you'd have an even stronger case as to why you guys should be relegated as first responders.
I think
and
we
not
would
just
probably have to, because you're being exposed to like full-on situations where even if you're not there in person, like, it can definitely trigger some sort of PTSD, like, reaction going forward in your life. If you're able to see that and relive it and hear it and not do anything about it. Yeah. Besides send help. Like, when first responders show up on scene, like, they see the problem and they can immediately do something about it for the most part. Whereas we hear everything that's going on and we're sending help, so that's us doing something, but you can't take over and start doing CPR for someone who's hyperventilating and screaming about their child. Right. You know, you just got to listen and hope that somebody gets there, like, quick enough.
So we've done a lot of joking today, Kelsey, but I do want to thank you for you and everybody else like you that are doing that job. Because I know I don't have, my anxiety levels are getting risen just by listening to your.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thanks, Brass.
Hit with some stokes and pokes.
Stokes and pokes.
All right.
So on, it's so good.
I'm bringing mine up. Cool. So Let me go. I'll go first.
I'm gonna go first this time.
Yeah, do that.
Because I am super. All right, I'm gonna poke something I learned this week. I fucking hate bitter coffee.
Bitter coffee?
Bitter coffee. And I am lazy because I use a Mr. Coffee most days because it's just easier. I just throw the coffee in. But for whatever reason this past week, it started tasting just extra bitter and weird and like nothing had changed.
Did you clean your coffee machine?
Thank you. No,
Did you
I
clean
did.
it?
I did. I really did. I cleaned the inside, I cleaned the out. I cleaned the
Did you run some vinegar through it?
I did. White water and
That's
vinegar.
That's my only
No,
options.
I'll tell you. So I cleaned the grinder.
Did you
the
get
coffee
fresh
grinder.
beans?
Yeah, they're fresh. I'll tell you what it is. It's the grind size.
That's the grind size. Ricky's not even paying attention, dude.
What? It's fine. He's going to listen to this on the playback and he's going to learn something.
Someone at the fucking coffee shop is pulling a Kelsey maneuver on you.
We just did this.
We just joked about this at brunch on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
When I
So
worked at
it's-
Starbucks, when people said like, "Oh, I'll have this ground for a flat bottom," I would just go like beep boop boop and just grind whatever the fuck it was set on. Because I didn't know, like nobody ever really explained what that meant,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to ask.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink coffee like outside of Starbucks, so I didn't really think it made a difference. Now I know it makes a difference because I use a French press every day.
Do you? Respect to that.
Someone's pulling a Kelsey with your coffee beans.
So it's just that I think my wife was cleaning and twisted the.
Oh, your wife Kelsey'd it.
No, my wife's name's Sarah. She twisted the thing all the way to the finest setting, and I didn't pay attention, so it was just getting too fine, which was over steeping or whatever, and it was making it bitter. So set that bad Larry
So if
back
it's
to
too
medium.
fine, like some little baby grinds will seep through into your coffee.
That's exactly
Give
what
it
was
a texture.
happening.
Worse.
Yeah, it's rough.
Not a fan. So I'm poking at bitter coffee.
right.
Set your grinders right. Grind your own coffee.
There you go.
It's like somehow he knew and he like chose a thing to just like really jab at me.
It's your fault.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like my
that's
biggest.
what I was picturing.
Yeah. Wow.
But I am stoked about hot dog because let's give it up to the wheel.
That's what's up.
I got a chance to go to Sean's and Brian, Sean Connolly, Brian O'Donnell's comedy extravaganza over at Coney Island. It is fucking hilarious.
I
Those
bet he
two
was
gentlemen.
funny. I bet it was funny.
Funnier than you, actually, both of them.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a funny take on a stand-up comedy show. They even had like a one-armed bartender. One of the guys behind Coney Island Bar hurt his arm. And
Really?
the poor bastard. So every time it's a wheel, and every time it lands on hot dog, they have to bring out a hot dog. Like somebody behind the bar brings out for the comedian, and everybody in there is screaming "hot dog, hot dog."
That's
so this poor
fantastic.
bastard has his arm in a sling, and he's running out through the double doors in the back, holding up a hot dog. Champ, super champ. So yeah, super stoked to see the new resident hot dog, the self-proclaimed second-rate Ron Jeremy, Brandon Valley. He was pretty funny. He was this funny little kid. Definitely follow out Boo Comedy Week if you enjoy laughing and hot dogs.
Yeah.
Those guys are always up to something.
They're the best. We have something in the works with those guys too.
Yeah,
so
we do.
we'll be announcing
Cute.
that somewhat soon. I wanna
Probably.
say.
Yeah,
So,
probably close enough.
Yeah,
March.
in a minute. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my stoke and poke.
All right.
What do you got, Kelsey?
Me? Okay. So my stoked is the movie Top Gun.
Yes. Yes. I'm so excited right now.
How topical.
Ricky was like, think of something that you're stoked about, think of something you don't really like. And I immediately, can I tell you my backup first before I get into this?
You have a backup on
Oh,
all
I
this?
have a backup, yeah.
Okay.
Were you afraid one of us was going to take Top Gun?
One of
Never
those bastards
know.
is going to take Top
It's
Gun.
like my immediate thought was, what are you stoked about? I was like, Tom Hanks on Twitter.
Tom Hanks
That was
on
my
Twitter?
first. Then I was like, so Tom Hanks' Twitter account, like if you don't follow, get
I
it
don't.
together.
Okay.
His thing is he lives in New York City, I
Okay.
would presume, and he walks around and he takes pictures of like stray like socks and mittens and stuff that have been left on the ground. He takes a picture, he posts a funny caption like somebody's left hand is real cold today, and then he signs it Hanks, Hanx. Every tweet.
And
oh, good.
Has it been verified as him?
Oh, it's Tom Hanks.
That is awesome.
It's no Table Talk Pies. It's
Wow.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is like one of those, like,
Universally loved people?
yeah, like Tom Hanks, Bill Murray, and George Clooney are the only people that I'm pretty sure just don't do bad things.
Yeah.
Or if they do, they've managed to do them out of the...
If Tom Hanks like was outed as a pedophile, my life would crumble around me. Mm-hmm. That would be devastating.
It would almost be bad as if like Bill Cosby came out as like a rapist or something.
Can you imagine, dude?
But I'm with you. To me, it's like that level. Like Tom Hanks, I've had since League of Their Own. I cried at the end of that movie as a 12-year-old little boy. So you're stoked about Top Gun?
I'm stoked about Top Gun. I watched Top Gun again, not like for the first time, not an idiot, last week with my friends Katie and Julia because they had never seen it before.
Because they're idiots.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Real good, like, because I conditioned them going into it to be like, listen, they're going to try to sell you on the fact that Tom Cruise is the hero of this movie. He's not. The hero of this movie is Val Kilmer, who plays Iceman. Iceman is the best character in Top Gun. No, he's not. Goose is the best character in Top Gun.
True.
But Iceman is the hero.
Goose gets his goose cooked.
Yeah, Goose did not deserve that at all. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Goose. R.I.P. wingfook.
So yeah, Iceman is the hero of Top Gun. He's just trying to keep his trying to keep his team safe. Maybe I'm flipping this. Maybe Top Gun is my poked. Is that what it's called? Maybe I don't like Top Gun, but I'll tell you.
Wait a minute. What just happened?
All right, so the other side of this coin, I'm not sure which way it's...
Is it a Fernet coin?
I'm a Libra, so the scales, it's
Sames.
like, I'm trying to... Oh, when's your birthday?
October 21st. When's yours?
October 4th.
What a coincidence. My wife's is in November.
Oh, that is a coincidence. Who would have thought?
I have no idea what's going on anymore.
So originally my poked, Kelsey, what's your poked? Well, my poked was going to be Top Gun 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My major thing with it is it's not being called Top Gun 2. It's called Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun, Maverick. The first movie was already about Maverick. It's a weird title. It's dumb. Yeah. It's coming out in 2020. New president, new Top Gun. Very excited for that year.
Danger Zone.
Hopefully new president.
So this was the reason why it was my my poked is Kenny Loggins is 71 years old right now. I don't think they're going to attach him to this project. And if they don't, it's not.
He's fucking Kenny Loggins. He's probably sitting on an entire library of just
every research that I've done on Top Gun 2 is his name does not come up in it. But now I'm kind of I am excited for Top Gun 2, so maybe I am going to flip. So Top Gun is out. Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2 Maverick is where it's at. John Hamm is going to be in it. Love John Hamm. I don't know who he's going to play, but I'm very excited for it.
He's very handsome.
Val Kilmer's coming back.
Okay.
He's
I really
less than
don't
handsome
like
these years. I hope he gets cut. He must. Because Val Kilmer got pudgy. Post-Batman, really? Val Kilmer got real heavy.
I believe in his ability to come back.
Well, I got to believe if he's going to come back and do a movie like Top Gun, he's going to get cut.
I think he's going to be playing the literal Top Gun, the commander or whatever.
Yeah.
However that works.
Is Cruise in it or no?
Oh, yeah, and he's, helping produce it. So he's, having a heavy influence, which I don't really like because he's a little bit of crazy.
Yeah,
and maybe he was crazy back then, too, but he's extra crazy now. So those are my reasons I wasn't, super stoked on it. Those negatives. But, John Hamm and Val Kilmer may redeem it for me, and I think I'm switching my stance, yeah. Top Gun 2, Maverick, change the name. And then Top Gun is the thing I don't like. Yeah.
I'm so confused by all that. And listeners, if you could follow, tell me.
Nobody's listening. I told you already. Nobody's listening.
Yeah, we're totally at the hour and a half mark. This is maybe one of our longest episodes ever.
Duh, I told you I was going to take it. So, this is me tanking it, my friend.
Taking this?
I thought you said taking. I prefer taking 2.
No, tanking it.
All right. I'm going to try to follow that up. My stoke is literally the greatest song I've heard in a very long time.
It's going to be the song you play for me in the car?
Oh, hell yeah. The new official song of the winter 2019 is Spill the Wine by Eric Burden. It's the absolute greatest song of all time. I don't care. Shout out to @RickyRatComics. He posted a thing the other day and it had a little... he was listening to that song or whatever, and I was like, what is that? So I went and I looked, and as soon as I hit play, it brought me back to the best time ever. I don't know where I've heard the song before. Everybody's heard the song.
Yeah, spill the wine, dig that girl.
Oh, it's so...
since I said sorry. That's the song you're talking about.
Nope, not Stained.
I prefer the Fred Durst version, but anyway.
Yo, shout out to Fred Durst. But yeah, so my stoke is that song. It's so good. I played it about 51 times last night at the dive bar. It sounds beautiful.
Those poor patrons.
Nobody was there for the first hour and a half I was open. It was beautiful. It was literally just me. So my stoke is that. You guys are going to hear it a lot. It will become everybody's favorite song. I'm kind of going to start petitioning it to be the song of Worcester. I want it to be like our anthem. Like Dirty Water is like the Boston. Nah, nah. I want Worcester's fucking anthem to be Spill the Wine. It's great.
We're getting a new wine company.
I saw that. Maybe they'll let me go and DJ and I'll just play that song.
Dude, on repeat. That's
it.
Probably the easiest DJing gig ever.
It's pretty much all I could do. Is where can I plug my phone in?
Yo, that is a lie. I've loved the playlist DJ Ricky at the dive bar.
It's true. I'm fucking awesome.
Oh, wait, there he goes again.
Hey,
We'll talk about when I first met him. For like 2 months, he was just this figure behind the bar that I would compliment his playlist, and he'd be too cool to talk to me. So I'd be like, Ricky, you're at it again. Thanks, man.
Miss you already.
Yo, thanks, man. I'm like, oh, he's so cool. I want to be friends with him.
I'm not that cool. So my poke is not Worcester related at all. Mm-hmm. The Bruins are single-handedly killing me right now. They're driving me nuts. I can't take it anymore. Like they'll play and they'll look so good, and then they'll play like shit for like 3 games. It makes me nuts. I've pretty much had it with the fact that like David Backes sucks. Now the shit signing. I love the fact that you both are looking at me like we don't know.
I don't care. I haven't been listening to anything you've been saying.
There was a time and place where I followed sports, but I've been so busy with everything else.
It's a sad time to be a Bruins. Halak sucks. John Moore sucks, and we have to deal with them for 4 more years.
Are they losing more than they're winning?
Yeah, well, it feels like it. They're not playing very well at all. It's very, very sad. So I want to poke the Bruins in a better direction.
Makes Bruins tickets cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know about that.
Easier to get anyway.
Hopefully. So yeah, stoked on Spill the Wine because it's the best song of all time, and I'm gonna try to poke the Bruins because they need to get better.
To a winning record at least.
Yeah, please make the playoffs.
Okay, so Kelsey, it was awesome having you on. Thank you so much.
Honestly, thanks for having me. I felt really great about it.
That's wonderful.
Sam. All right, so
I've been at Travis. You can find me on Instagram at @HunchbackTravis.
I've been Ricky. You can find me on the Instagram at DickChuck77 or at SeltzerTime Official.
Leave us a comment. Write us some stuff. Tell us you're listening.
Let us know who you want us to talk to.
Yeah.
Sorry for partying.